Well, thing just turned around and stopped in the middle of playing. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I truly believe that you have been given the power of the word and thought to empower your life. I'm here to encourage you to think in the positive and show you that miracles can happen. So, and that's kind of impromptu. This whole Spreaker thing is just like so new to me, and today I'm broadcasting live. I'm not broadcasting, and uploading an episode, and I just want you to know that I am so happy to have you here listening to me today. Now, here's the deal. Now, normally I am broadcasting from the Dallas, Texas area, actually an area called the Colony. But finally, it has been so long since I have been able to get out to the woods. Yeah, I'm in the woods looking at the lake. Well, not right now. I'm not looking at the lake, but being able to enjoy the trees and the sound. I woke up to the sound of birds this morning and all kinds of weird sounds and other campers here at the campground. For those that you don't know, yeah, I enjoy getting out in the woods. Now, the main thing is I'm not in a camper. I'm not in a tent. I'm in a camper. So I just look forward to just kind of sharing with you some of my experiences. But today's topic really is about wisdom. I've learned a lot over my many years, and one of the things that I do know is that you don't have to be old to be wise. Some people say, oh, yeah, the gray hair on your head makes you a wise person. Now, we know from experience, and I'm going to say all of us know from experience, that age does not indicate that a person is wise. Some folks just never learn, right? They just never seem to learn from the things that have happened in their life or the things that they've seen or experienced. That our highest insight, our highest abilities for discernment have been a gift to us, to each and every one of us. It is part of our makeup. It is part of the way we were designed. And in order to come to that level of having discernment, wisdom, insight, is that we have to have the confidence in using this ability that we have been given. Now, I talk about it as being your intuition. And many of us, we have no explanation of how it works. We have no explanation of how. I just knew. I just decided, and I just knew. I just knew that I needed to do this certain thing. Or I just knew I needed to call Mary Jane. And when I called Mary Jane, she really needed to talk to me. Or I decided to take a different route home tonight, and the route I was on had a major accident, and I would have probably been in that area when that accident happened. We definitely have a capability of tapping into I call it well, others call it, and it's the field. And I describe the field as though there was this huge, giant spider web all around the world. And everyone has access to that spider web. It is referred to as the field. It is the scientific name that physicists have given it. And what they've realized is that we all are a part of it. We all have access to it. And let's look at it as I describe it as a spider web. Let's look at it this way. Think of a spider web, the largest spider web you've ever seen. You know, on days like this, where the dew is out early in the morning and you go outside and you see a spider web and the dew is all over it. So you can see the intricate design of that spider web. Now just think, the spider is somewhere there. You may not see it. It may be on one of the connections it has to wherever it weaved its web. But if an insect hits that spider web, that spider instantly knows that it is there. That's what the field is like. The full name for the field is called the 0-point field. You can look that up online and look up 0-point field. So I'm going to read from Manifesting the Life You Want, the book that I put out last August. It's been a little over a year now. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. But I want to welcome all of you. I want to welcome any of the new people that have recently found me. Welcome. And you're going to find that I'm just a little bit different when I'm talking because, one, I'm not giving you a lot of hype. Two, on this show, I teach you how to relax and calm down. It may not be any other part of your day where you're in a place where you can just relax and be still. Because what I know is that as we live our lives and we're always going, and we always have something in the background. I was thinking about that today, is that a lot of us always have something in the background, either the television playing or the radio playing or some kind of noise in our life. I'm going to invite you to turn off the noise. I'm going to invite you to slow down. And one of those ways that I invite you to slow down is that always in the beginning of my show, I talk about taking a moment and do a short meditation. I also refer to it as meditative prayer. Because when you slow down and you simply ask or state what is on your mind and your deepest desires, you slow down your heart, you slow down your respiration, you slow down your brain. When we are just moving forward and we're going all the time, our brain is moving at a very rapid place or pace. All right. And it is proven that when we're at this rapid pace, we do not think quite as well. We may be able to do some thoughts. This is where we can do math and some intricate things. But when it comes to making decisions, those decisions are made in black and white, or they don't take everything into consideration, and we don't hit or listen to the voice within. In fact, one of the things that I realize is that when we are so busy hustling and bustling and moving and listening to the music all the time, and it's always noise, and I got to go here and I got to go there and I got to do this and I got to do that, we don't hear the inner voice. We do not hear the voice of the creator of the universe speaking through us or to us. We don't hear it. And so part of what I love doing here and sharing with you, now those of you who have listened to me before know this is what I do, but always I make the assumption that somebody is new on the line. But I start the show with meditation. Today was a little different because I had a hiccup. And this is my first time going live on Spreaker Radio. So I'm still learning this console. I'm still learning. Okay. All right. So what I do is I allow you to just take a moment and rest. Just take a deep breath and relax. Because many times during your day, during the week, during the month, during the year, you may say, okay, I'm going to prop my feet up and I'm going to relax. And you may go into prayer. But maybe that prayer is still, you haven't slowed down yet. And you're in this position of begging. You're in this position of fear. You are not at peace. And I want you to be at peace. I want you to lower your brain waves, your respiration, your heartbeat. Turn off the television. Turn off the radio. And start just sitting and listening. Now, when you sit and listen, all kinds of thoughts are going to go through your head. It's like, I never thought, what did yes. And you think that you're slowing down and you're relaxing, but you still have all these extraneous thoughts popping into your head. I've got to go pick up the kids, or I've got to go do this. Oh, I forgot to do that at work. Oh, I need to do this. And, oh, do you know so-and-so was talking about so-and-so? I mean, all these things start coming into your mind. And what I would love to just teach you to do is to stop all those thoughts. Have the thought come in, recognize it, say, I'll handle you later, and concentrate just on your breath. Now you say, I can't do this. I don't have time to do this. Well, let me tell you, if you want a personal compass called wisdom. You need to learn to do this. When you're studying, whether you are in a study for class, for a course you're taking, you're trying to learn something new, you're reading a self-help book, you're reading your religious materials, and you need to be focused, this is what you do. You take the time to sit and relax and breathe in and out and listen to your breath, or try to listen or feel your heart beating. You can concentrate on an item in front of you. The idea is to gain focus. One of the ways that you can slow yourself down to listen to the voice inside is you can sit down and start breathing deeply in and out, and then mentally start counting backwards from 25 to 1. You go, huh? Well, what it happens, it's not as easy as you think when you first get started. 25, 24, 23, 22 is really easy when you do it out loud. But you're going to do it mentally. And slowly, with each breath in, 25, 24, 23. Now you see the spacing in between that? Well, here's what can happen, and does happen to a lot of people. Those thoughts start coming in, and you pay attention to that thought, and you try to resolve it, and you forget to say, okay, thank you, go away. When I'm done, I'll revisit you. And what happens, you get to 20. This thought comes in, you start working on it, and then you go, what number was I on? Was I at 20? Was I at 19? Was I at 21? When that happens, you start all over again at 25. Until you can go from 25 to 1 without interruption, without trying to remember what number you're on. From 25 to 1, and when that thought comes in, you send it back out and continue counting with the breath. When you can go from 25 to 1 easily and slowly, then you go to 50 to 1. This not only teaches you how to breathe slowly, it helps to lower your blood pressure. It helps you to learn to breathe deeply, because most of us breathe shallowly. But it also teaches you focus. focusing on that which you desire. In this case, you're focusing on counting backwards. Then once you get to 50, you go to 100 or 75 if you wish, and then to 100. And when you can count from 100 to 1 easily, you definitely will have lowered your blood pressure. You have lowered the speed of your brain. Now, there are different speeds. You can look this up. Beta, alpha, theta, and delta are the speeds of your brain. Beta is now when I'm talking and having conversation. Beta, whenever I go out, that's one of the reasons why I say you don't say these things out loud, because you have to be in beta in order to speak. Alpha is slower, and that's where you're working to get yourself to. This is the area at the time when you can memorize things, you can learn stuff. When you're studying, you can be in the alpha state, and you're reading and concentrating, and this stuff sticks. This is what happens when you drive from one spot to another and don't remember how you got there. You're in alpha. And then theta is the dream state. And I teach people how to be in this theta state mentally while they're awake. Don't have to be asleep. And here is what I refer to as the anteroom of God. Because here, when you've slowed yourself down enough, slow enough, then this is when I say I have a direct connection to my needs, my wants, my desires. And then delta is when you're deeply asleep. You say you slept like a log. And that's the short version. We want to be at alpha. Wisdom comes in the alpha state. So yes, I go the scientific route. All right, where do we get this information from? Is that. Now, pay attention to your breathing right now. Pay attention to where you are as you're listening to me. Have you noticed that you have slowed down? That your heartbeat is a little slower? That your respiration may be a little slower? This is where you really want to be. Now, you need to be in beta when you are driving and paying attention, or you're, doing a presentation, but you're not going to be there all the time, because when you need to answer a question or a concept is given to you and you need to think about it, you actually need to slow down, dip into alpha, get the information, and back out again. I'm a geek, by the way. I really am. For me, I need to know the scientific or the science behind things. And so I share those things with you. So let's talk about why you need to dip into that alpha state. And I'm going to read from the book, Manifesting the Life You Want, Prime Directives for Abundant Living, by me. And it's on page 48, and it's about connections. Because we are all mentally connected to one another through the transference of energy in the 0-point field, all knowledge is available to us when we are in receiving mode. So I talked about the 0-point field. I talked about being connected like a spider web. All right, we are all interconnected. We are filled with energy. We transmit energy. when we are thinking and asking and having conversation, all of this information is imprinted on the 0 point field. All right, let me get back to the book. Your subconscious mind works in the background to give you the answers you desire and or connects with the creator to gain access to the greater consciousness and send out a request for help. When you ask for and visualize your desires, they are created in that very moment in the non-physical. So off book now. When you're thinking about what you want, when I was thinking about my truck and what kind of truck I want, it was not concrete. I wasn't sure of the color. I wasn't sure of. All I knew is I wanted this F-150 EcoBoost engine with the tow package, so I could, buy a bigger trailer. All right, because the truck I had would not pull the trailer that I want, so I needed to upgrade. But I didn't have a concrete idea. But when I did get an idea that I wanted this EcoBoost engine in burgundy color with package number 302A, and this was my desire, I could think about this and put it out to the creator and to the universe and to the 0 point field to let them know this is what I wanted. Back to the book. When you ask for and visualize your desires, they're created in that very moment in the non-physical and are waiting for the right catalyst to cause it to appear in the physical. Well, what does this have to do with wisdom? Because when you slow down and you tap into the 0 point field, you tap into your intuition, you tap into all the knowledge that's available in the universe. You tap in and you ask for the answers. I know sometimes you go, where'd that come from? Oh, I just had a decision. I needed to go look in this book, and I opened the book and the answer was there. Oh, I decided to pick up the phone and call my friend, and while we were in the conversation, they said something to me that was the answer that I wanted. Wow. Thank you, God. Thank you. Wisdom. You don't have to be old and gray-haired to get wisdom. But you've got to know how to listen and ask and do those inspired actions that pick up the phone, open the book, go for the walk, do whatever in order to get the answers that you desire. Now, some of you that have been listening to me before have probably said, but Bev, you didn't do meditation today. Yes, I did. I did it kind of sneaky. Because as you were breathing, and I told you to concentrate on your breath, and I talked about slowing your brain down, and as I slowly talked, and I asked you to pay attention to your heartbeat or to your breathing, you were going into that meditative state. So it was a teaching lesson for you to teach you how that you can be in the middle of anything and listening and be able to slow yourself down. Today was just a little different from my normal format, but it was close. I am working diligently to find some really interesting guests. And I've put some new plans into place, and I've brought on an assistant to help me find these people. So, if you know someone who can share their experience and share their turning point in their life where they have heard the voice or they had to stop and listen, send me an email at beverly@commandingyourlife.com. And I will connect and see and have a conversation with them about being on the show. So let's see if the exit music will continue to play for us. Because I'm in the woods and internet connection can be a little difficult, just a little bit. And thank you.